this episode of the Third Gallon Podcast.
Read that prompt. Read that prompt. Read that prompt. Read that prompt.
After robbing the Gold Tank Reserve and narrowly escaping from the law.
Haha, doo-doo. Whenever we last left you guys, you finished robbing a bank, and you were making your escape whenever the shield marshals started catching up with you and were on your trail. And you desperately tried to collapse this tower of trash to block the way for the shield marshals.
We totally failed.
It didn't go so great.
Chester succeeded one regular success, and then the goblin blew it up.
Yeah, then the goblin blew it up.
And then you had your NPC save us in a cutscene.
The Outlaws find themselves in the Wailing Scrapyard.
You guys made your escape into the Wailing Scrapyard. The tower of trash blocked a shot on Alonzo.
He nearly died.
From his rival, Deputy Shield Marshal Angelique Lovelace. So now you're in the Wailing Scrapyard.
And meet a small new friend.
Oh, hi there, little friend.
Hi.
Hello, child.
Go back.
That was a brilliant save you did.
Thank you. Shield marshals suck.
They do.
That we can agree on.
It's time for some trash goblins.
Live fast, die fast.
Live fast, die fast.
Baby.
She.
Life.
Now.
So y'all robbed a bank. How's that feel?
It feels like I robbed a bank.
Feels like it.
Am I an outlaw or a criminal?
Feels like it shouldn't have been that easy.
I hear your keyboard overheating. Calm down.
Calm down.
Hold
on. Is that him at the door? I felt like it shouldn't have been that easy. I understand having a fun opening. We were level 1. We should have died.
Hey,
Yeah.
I am nearly dead, okay?
Nearly dead.
I am nearly dead.
Not dead.
So did you fail your mission or did you accomplish it?
I mean, we accomplished it.
But he's still alive. He should be dead. Sounds like failure to me.
I think, in theory, we accomplished what we were coming for. I think that we did not.
No, we did exactly what we went to.
We stole stuff.
Yeah.
We
we
cannot
stole the
access
stuff.
it, but we stole it.
We did exactly what we were supposed to do. Get the goods.
Yeah, but we could take, once you have this chest, you could
just
take
blow
the
it up.
time to take it apart, but we didn't have the time.
Yeah.
There's a
So we
tracker
grabbed the
in it.
whole chest.
So what about, how did you feel about seeing a goblin pop out of nowhere?
Cannot wait to
so
adopt
excited.
this
I love
goblin.
him. I already
love him.
He called us stupid Longshanks, and I'm thrilled.
He's a literal trash goblin.
He's a little trash man.
He is peak goblin.
Little bitty trash goblin.
There's nothing that excites a veteran group of Pathfinder
little
campaign
trash
setting
booger.
players or Adventure Path players like seeing a goblin pop out that doesn't fight them immediately.
That's right.
Yes.
It talked to us. It saved us.
It saved us.
It's already our friend.
Well,
It's our friend.
It's our friend. It's friend-shaped
friend.
already, Jacob.
That's the love of my life.
so if goblins and Pathfinder are friend-shaped, does that mean Hey Arnold is friend-shaped?
No. Stop.
He's got
Desist.
football
See, the
head.
thing is, Hey Arnold is too human. He's in the uncanny valley. He's got
That's fair.
the human skin.
I would like to take this topic and run with it just a little bit. Whenever I was 4, 5, maybe 3,
You were a goblin?
Well,
yes,
I mean, aren't they?
I had an insane fear of Hey Arnold.
Oh.
I still get night terrors. I got them back then too. And Hey Arnold was my fucking sleep paralysis
I
demon.
cannot judge because I had them as a kid too.
And I remember the smile being really, really wide and full of sharp teeth, and I just called him Spooky Thing.
I can't judge either because I got nightmares about Scooby-Doo villains.
I had nightmares where I couldn't shower.
I guess I
or
can
got chased
judge
by sharks.
because I haven't had any of these.
Which is better than all of us.
Listen, I was more terrified of, horror movie people. So I guess I am better.
Talking about goblins, I'm trying to think. We've had a lot of run-ins with goblins in our, home games before making a show. Can you name some of the most iconic goblin moments? I know there's one that stands out particular.
Just Rip Nugget.
Yeah,
yes.
Rip Nugget.
Now, if we talk about this one, warning to anyone that has not played Rise of the Rune Lords. Book one. This will probably contain spoilers.
Hit skip a couple times.
Yeah. So
There we go. Warning.
Rip Nugget, he leads the group. Is it Bramble Thistletop?
Thistletop.
Yeah. He's the leader of the goblins there. And the only way that you can talk to him is if you cast Charm Person or Charm Monster. Probably should have been Monster, TBH. But Person worked.
Goblins humanoid?
And I think maybe in this version they are.
It was fine.
But I had the Callistrian Cleric who once a day can cast Charm Person.
Yep.
And that sucker fell for it.
I was setting up this boss fight with Rip Nugget, and you guys just waltzed in and charmed his ass.
Yep.
Hilarity ensued.
I got crowned King.
Yes, King B.
King B.
King B.
King B.
And he was a goblin who could only speak broken common, I think. So you taught him swear words under different meanings, I think.
Yep.
That was wonderful.
Yes. I now pronounce you King B. Fuck me in the ass.
Yep.
What was that one supposed to mean?
That was, it was a high honor.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, high honor.
Oh, no.
Like a title.
Yeah.
And then did you teach him shut the fuck up?
I believe so.
Yeah, I think you did.
That one was Micah.
Oh, yeah. That sounds like Micah.
That is
Because
very
he's playing
on brand.
Silas, and
Yeah.
Silas is a terrible person.
Silas is,
Silas
of all the
sucks.
characters any of us has made, Silas is
is the
probably
worst.
the worst person. I don't even know if Silas is evil, because I've played an evil character that I would say is not as bad a person as Silas.
It's not so
Pavel.
much that he's
Well, my name is Pavel. Yeah, Pavel.
it's not so much that Silas is like evil or
He's just gross.
he's just disgusting.
Disgusting is the word for him. Disgusting.
Yeah.
He's just
Shout out to Micah.
Shout out to Micah.
First time mentioning.
Glorious, disgusting bastard man.
I hope we never
And his
air,
character.
I hope we never air any content where Silas is role played. The world is not ready.
No, we would
feel
lose
like-
listeners.
I feel like Durgamir was like the safe for work version of Silas.
Durgamir is Silas's.
Durgamir wasn't disgusting.
Durgamir was actually a good guy.
Yeah.
Durgamir is Silas's younger brother who got his life together.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And Lyrian's technically.
Died, sure.
Yeah? Mm-hmm. What other goblins have we had?
We've had other ones. I'm just trying to rack my brain to think about it.
I'm trying to.
Jacob.
I had a goblin in the most recent Hawthorne one.
yeah.
He was the
was the
goblin
father.
ranger who had adopted an
Gubbin.
elf child.
Yes.
Yeah, Gubbin.
Gubbin. I love
Because you
Gubbin.
guys helped him get his kid back and then basically adopted them into your mercenary town.
Yep.
Not like
Oh, the adorable Gubbin.
nothing like a middle-aged goblin who's wiser than everyone in your seasoned adventuring
It's
party.
like, Gubbin was a good guy.
Gubbin
And
was
by the
great.
way, his daughter was not another goblin.
That was your elf.
adopted
elf.
daughter.
Yep.
Yeah.
It was adopted elf
a
daughter.
wood elf Drider.
Yes, at that point. That was a...
Rick adopted her
you can
and
have-
kind of pseudo married Gubbin.
Boy,
he
ain't
has so
homebrew
much
wacky.
fun in homebrew. Yep.
Homebrew fun.
I just remembered another lesser known but still infamous goblin encounter that we did. It was in my game.
Okay.
Fuck, what was it?
No, we will not mention that one.
The one with the orcs?
Once is enough.
No, once is enough. But we're done. No, but in my game, when we were briefly playing 5e Tomb of Annihilation with some other friends.
Yeah.
That's a hex crawl game, and so you explore this huge map, and you found this tribe of goblins, and you like attacked them, or
No,
you
first
tried
we
to talk
spoke
to
to them,
but-
and half of our group tried to free the prisoners they had, and the other half of our group was like,
Oh, yeah.
it's nature. Goblins eat people. We should just leave them be. And the other of us
boy.
are just sitting there like,
Oh boy.
If I remember right, it was us here at the table who were, or the players at the table were like, yeah, we should talk to them. And it was our newer players in that game, because that was our kind of bring people
To
in
be
game.
fair, our newer players were the people in the cage.
Yeah.
So of course they don't want to talk.
Semantics.
Yeah.
But the notable thing that happened is as soon as you started like duking it out with the goblins,
Yeah?
they catapulted their like village because they had like trapped it, because in that like island there's like dinosaurs and stuff.
Yeah.
And so they had their village rigged to get chucked. And like the book even says like, hey, the stuff is like packed in such a way that like, you know, it won't be damaged too much. And the goblins are soft, and the ones who aren't in the thing can just run.
The goblins are
So
soft.
you just started fighting them, and all of a sudden the whole village went.
we also tried to barter a bunch of mayonnaise for the
we did.
people.
Oh boy, that's another story that we don't have
Yep.
time to get into. Oh, mayonnaise.
Was that to the goblins?
Yes,
Yeah.
that was to the goblins.
Okay.
to the goblins?
Also
to the
tried it
dwarves.
With the dwarves. I was going to say, I know we once tried with dwarves. with the
Mayonnaise was a currency in that game.
You wonder why.
I wonder why. Again, that is a long story for another day.
Goblins are always fun to interact with because sometimes they're just enemies. And, you know, you get it. The goblins are a good enemy, little trash beings that like to kill people. But also when they're good guys, they don't lose that gremlin energy. You always be like, oh, who there? Who that? Who are you? Who are you? Just the combination of broken English, squeaky voices. Goblins are fun to play. And
Yeah.
I've always wondered why we have never tried the Paizo Weeby Goblin Adventures, because it just
Weeby
sounds
Goblin.
like fun. If it wasn't for the fact that you have
I
to
don't
pay
want to talk like a
pre-made-
5-year-old.
pre-made characters.
Yeah.
Well, I think also we are Chaos Gremlins, and give us a chance to play goblins in Universe Chaos Gremlins, and we would fall to pieces.
I don't think
fair.
anything would happen. We would try to start the game. We would just like open the scene, and that's where we'd stay.
That's where we'd stay.
Oh man. Well, before we jump into everything, before I do the fun prompt read, I wanted to bring up something real quick.
Please continue.
I wanted to bring up something real quick. I had an idea. I wanted to share it with you guys. Wanted to share it with the listeners. Pathfinder 2E, as we said before, is a massive, chunky game. It's very intimidating to get into if you're not familiar with it already or don't have someone that knows it. You know, we've done a lot of research. We are already familiar with 1E, so like we have a kind of a jumping off point for how to take apart these kind of games.
Little springboard.
And I was thinking we could do something, maybe not long term, but at least for the next little bit with our episodes. We could open up something like a Google form. So if our listeners have questions, kind of like we do in Catching Up, but more about like how 2E works. Or if they like say like, oh, I know this rule and you guys maybe did something wrong or differently. Or if they have a question like, hey, you did this in the thing, but you didn't explain it. How does that work? Maybe we could have a little submission form. And then as we get some kind of questions or responses in, we could talk about them.
That could be fun.
Would love to.
We'd have to keep it short.
Sure.
But if we do something wrong, you know, just keep that to yourself. Keep it to yourself.
Only positive criticism.
Praise. Only praise. Only praise.
Monica.
Listen, if you can't make us feel good, why are you even here?
Yeah. Yeah. The listeners exist to make us feel good.
That's right.
And as soon as you stop caring about us, you cease to exist.
Oh boy. Woo!
Woo!
The only thing about that is we
They're
tend to
just
be
like, I need to cut so much.
We love you.
we tend to be recorded ahead. So it can take
yeah,
a few
that's a
episodes
fair
before we
point.
got to it.
We
Yeah,
love you,
yeah.
audience blob. Never
Yeah.
doubt that.
But
Audience block.
I'm sorry, but whenever I think of the audience, I think of that hallway right there, and it's just a shadow amalgamation.
That's gross.
The audience is not even humanoid shaped. I'm sorry, audience.
No, but the reason I bring it up, I know we probably wouldn't get back in timely. It'd be like a month out or whatever from whenever someone writes in. But if someone has the question and is willing to write in about it, then other people probably have the same question.
I mean, yeah.
Oh, totally.
So to kind of further our show's ability to teach people how to play 2E and make it less intimidating.
Yeah.
All right, maybe if...
And we can do that now when we don't have a ton of people, you know.
yeah.
If we have less than 100 people listening, it's a lot easier to do this.
Yeah. Yeah.
Seriously.
Yeah.
So if you see a link to the to a Google form about this in the description of this episode, then you know what this is about, and I've already made my decision. But yeah, maybe we'll do that.
Read that prompt. Read that prompt. Read that prompt. Read that prompt.
Centuries before the Starstone was raised, the Wizard Kings Nex and Geb warred with one another, scarring the land between them into a devastated magic wasteland. From the glowing ashes of the Mana Wastes arose Alkenstar, the city of smog, a metropolis of airships, skyscrapers, factories, and clockwork wonders. To the world, Alkenstar is the pinnacle of innovation and determination in the face of insurmountable odds.
Like Apple.
On its streets, life in Alkenstar is a non-stop race to stay ahead of the competition.
Like Cincinnati.
And it is here that a desperate group, hungry for revenge, living on the edge of the law, hunts for the ones who cast them out.
Can't have shit in
They
Detroit.
are the Outlaws of Alkenstar.
Yay!
So you can't have shit Detroit in the middle of that.
It was fitting.
I mean, you can't.
Alrighty. You had something to bring up, Drow?
Yeah, so Secure is technically still lawful evil. What should that be? I would like to propose evil good. And hear me out. It is just based on their actions.
If you fold the alignment chart on itself.
Oh, boy.
So Bry is true neutral. So you should... I don't think there's a hard and fast rule because I was looking at Oracle stuff recently, and they're not like clerics where it's like, hey,
you have to be within a step.
be within a step, but you probably should be within a step. Here's the thing. If you want to call yourself good evil, this may upset some Pathfinder players out there, and that's fine. I don't really care about that so much.
Yeah.
What I need from you is a mechanical alignment
For spells and stuff.
For spells and stuff. I don't know if we've talked about this explicitly because it hasn't come up in any of the games we played on the show. I'm not a big fan of alignment in general.
This actually should be a conversation for next banter.
This should be a banter, yeah.
Ooh,
Yeah,
that would make a fun banter.
Yeah.
This is a whole nother banter topic to talk about, but I'm not a big fan of alignment, so I don't really care what you want to call yourself. But you do need to pick like the closest mechanical thing on the chart for Psyche
I
here.
would probably end up doing chaotic neutral then.
Okay, that doesn't mean you have to like lock yourself into playing
Yeah.
like that. That's just for like spells and alignment things. But yeah, we could talk about that later because I have thoughts on alignment.
Based on Psyche's actions, I think good evil fits.
Fair enough. I know the
Okay.
You have broken the Jacob.
I would allow it. I just, like, if there's a spell that has no effect on good, double the effect on evil, I'd take the worst outcome every time.
Fair enough.
that
sounds like
that is a very GM way of thinking.
Exactly. Yes. My brain is all about the balance.
But that level of chaos is what Drow likes.
Because of the way that Psyche works, like mechanically, that's pretty fitting.
Yeah. Yeah.
They ooze positive energy. They get fucked up whenever they try to heal. Good evil.
Yeah, I mean, if you just want to call it, like you said, chaotic neutral for the mechanics of it, we don't have to hold you to it for the roleplay aspect. All right. Well, with that out of the way, last we left, our we don't have a name for you guys yet. We got to start workshopping that.
The Outlaws of Alkenstar.
The Outlaws of Alkenstar.
It's in the adventure path.
That's trademarked, sir.
No, absolutely not. We are more creative than that. We are intrepid, unlimited.
We are intrepid.
Oh, I got it.
Yeah,
New group name. The Criminals.
the Outlaws. Outlaws are criminals.
So,
The Lawmen of Alkenstar.
The Micah Conundrum.
Micah's Angels.
Micah's Angels.
Micah's Angels.
Oh, that's so bad.
That's dumb.
No,
That's really dumb.
That's why we should do it.
No,
We're
we
Micah's
need a
Angels.
few more episodes to get a feel for who our party is.
I feel just right now, Micah's Angels. If anyone's new to season 3 and they don't know Micah lore, we should enlighten them at some point in time.
They have to listen to our past episodes.
It's a hook to listen to season 2.
Go through all of season 2 just to get Micah lore.
Listen,
Micah
at the
lore.
Become
beginning,
trained in Micah lore.
At the beginning of every Harry Potter book, you don't get a reference for everything that's happened in the past books. They have to read the past
Wait, why are we
books.
mentioning Harry
This is
Potter?
how books work. It's Harry Potter's one of an example. It's
Third
not specific to Harry
I don't
Potter.
like
The
Harry
Third
Potter.
Gallon
It's
podcast
okay.
is my favorite book.
That's right.
Yes, my favorite book is the Third Gallon Podcast.
So after
The Third Gallon is my favorite book on the Citadel.
after the scrap falls, and we are now in safety. We're in safety, right?
So to back up, let's actually do a recap.
Oh yeah, that's right. We do a recap.
Yeah,
we,
so
we shit it.
Do.
haha, doo-doo. Whenever we last left you guys, you finished robbing a bank, as we alluded to, and you were making your escape out the back whenever the shield marshals were started catching up with you and were on your trail. Yeah, you went a couple blocks to the Wailing Scrapyard like you were instructed to, and you desperately tried to collapse this like tower of trash to block the way for the shield marshals.
We totally failed.
It didn't go so great.
Not totally. We half succeeded.
Didn't you critically fail? Oh, I got
I
notes for
failed.
this.
I critically
boy.
failed.
I succeeded.
That's why I
one
said
check.
I totally failed.
Oh boy, I forgot you critically failed. That's really.
I had to
entertaining.
take damage when I only had 6 hit points.
Yeah.
Did I?
You gave me slashing damage.
What happened was
Okay, I didn't. Okay,
critically
okay.
failed. Chester succeeded one regular success, and then the goblin blew it up.
Yeah, then the goblin.
And
blew
then
it
you
up.
had your NPC save us in a cutscene.
Hey, I will say, just stepping out of the recap for a second, when I read that in the book preparing for this, I was just like, as a GM, this is like a conundrum I've had before, because it's one of those events where it's like, this has to happen. They have to enter the scrapyard to get away.
It's just telling a good story. It's
Right?
fine.
And so in my head, it's like, if they can roll and fail and I have to jump in anyway, that sucks. So do I risk it by having them roll to add the suspense, or do I just have the goblin blow it up and avoid the looking like dumb? And
Or-
I said risk it.
Or you just have your NPC show up and you roll for the
yeah.
NPC to hit it, and the NPC
Yeah.
just always succeeds because we don't have to know that.
That is true. I that's the thing, and you know that you guys know this about me as a GM. I hate fudging rolls. If I'm gonna predetermine something, I usually just do it and
Yeah.
don't roll. I do, however, like rolling for no reason to intimidate. That was one of my favorite things about the Book of Tales and The Witcher. It would just be like, hey, you should roll some dice here to make your players feel intimidated. And I was like, oh, yeah, my vibe.
That was your vibe.
But yeah, to finish the recap, you guys made your escape into the Wailing Scrapyard. The Tower of Trash blocked a shot on Alonzo.
He nearly died.
Yeah, it blocked a shot on Alonzo from his rival, Deputy Shield Marshal Angelique Lovelace. So now you're in the Wailing Scrapyard. You've escaped, and you have a new friend. So why don't we
A new best friend.
pick up there?
Chester will slump to the ground, like onto his butt, and he'll be like, well, that was stressful. Hey, real quick, do you guys think, the our little last lines at Miss Lovelace was good enough? Do you think they'll be memorable? I said, tell Mr. Muglin we said hi. I know you shall. Do you think they were effective? Do you think they were good?
I don't know if one-liners are our strength yet.
Not yet. Maybe we'll learn them, but
Do you have proficiency one-liners?
I don't yet.
We will learn.
Oh, hi there, little friend. Hi. Thank you for saving our butts.
You see this goblin kind of like with dirty small goblin overalls with only one strap on, no shirt underneath. He's perched up on top of the trash pile, like squatting down looking at you guys.
Like a frog.
Hi,
Hello, child.
I'm Gomac.
That was a brilliant save you did.
Thank you.
Suppose I'll thank you for saving my life there.
Shield marshals suck.
They too.
That we can agree on.
Did you say Gomac?
Gomak.
Right. Well, hi there, Gomac. Thank you for helping us. Did you what you doing here, Gomac?
I was just chilling.
Ah,
Do you happen to know of another way out of this scrapyard?
Oh, you want to get out?
well, first off, do you know a safe place for us to sleep?
Why'd you come here?
Oh,
We
running
were
from
running.
the marshals.
Oh, you just waiting for them?
Oh yeah.
No one sent you?
Who? What?
No one sent you?
Was someone supposed to send us? He'll squint at the goblin.
No, you didn't mean the goblin sent you here? No goblin sent you here?
He's got a straw in his mouth.
I don't think so.
The bartender lady wasn't a goblin, right?
No, she was a dwarf.
Okay, that's what I thought.
Peels back the mask. It's goblins all the way down.
Oh, no, we weren't sent here by a goblin.
Oh, well, do you want to meet Lord Glass? He's in charge of us. He's a cool guy. He's very shiny.
Does he hate the shield marshals?
Yeah, they suck.
Then yeah, we'll take
Yes.
it. We'll meet him.
Sounds
The
about
enemy
right.
of my enemy is my brother in arms.
That's right. We love
Hey,
to make new friends.
That's my line.
I changed it.
What?
He sticks up his arms and he surfboards down on a piece of metal.
Oh, be careful, my child.
Live fast, die fast,
Fast, fast, fast.
baby.
Oh boy, I like Gomac.
She.
Knife.
Go back, you're a delight. Why don't you lead the way?
Of course. You don't know where the fuck to go.
We don't. Yes.
So, as you make it down here, you pass under the arm of a big old crane. Do you see it on the map?
The claw.
As that happens, I would like to talk to Gomek. I have heard murmurs of haunted machines. Have you been able to validate that?
Oh, I mean, we like to make wailing, spooky noises because it keep people out of here.
Oh,
This is our trash.
the Scooby-Doo situation.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Fair enough. This is your trash. Would
of
you
the
like
top.
an arm?
One of the things made a weird noise
I happen to have an arm. Would you like an arm?
Is it a bloody arm?
It is mechanical.
Ooh.
If
Yes.
you count oil as robot blood, it's bloody.
I will give one of
That's
the
morals
arms.
right there.
I will give him, him. What are your pronouns, my child?
I really want to make
Goblin.
a goblin joke,
Goblin.
but it probably is he, him.
I am Goblin.
Oh, I already love Gomac.
Do you guys like rats?
Eyes get a little big.
Like for eating.
For eating your friends.
Rats.
This is as you're walking around this scrapyard.
Oh wait, you're playing a cat.
I am a cat
I
person.
ain't too keen on rats as friends. They tend to eat what we grow.
No. Snack. Food.
I wouldn't say no to a good rat.
Oh.
If it's cooked?
Of course.
All right.
Probably.
Do you happen to have bone sucking sauce dry rub?
Of course.
Cajun?
It's a Goblin classic.
Desert heat.
He leads you around, and I'll just move you guys if you don't mind.
So are we going to be walking for a little bit?
Not very far.
Very slowly, Saikira's voice is becoming a paladin.
So you see where I'm pinging on the map?
I see where you're pinging.
All right, yeah, head on over there, and then he's leading you over there, and then to the left around that trash. To the right, you see this pool of looks like water ? With oil slick on top of
It
it.
has effects.
Yeah, the Foundry module for Outlaws of Alkenstar is official by Paizo, and it is awesome.
Oh, this is cool.
It's gorgeous. Oh my god, look
That
at the
is-
bubbles.
This is oil, right?
It's a water ? But it has oil goop.
It's
I have a-
crackle colored.
I have a question, my child.
Yeah.
What do you drink? Is it that?
Fuck no.
I see.
We used to drink from there, but then it got shitty. And
What
gross.
happened?
So it just started getting rust and crap in it. It tastes bad. One guy died.
Oh, that's unfortunate.
Yeah, so we stopped. And we just get rainwater and shit.
That is probably for the best.
Someone runs out and grabs an Aquafina every now and then, but
I myself am a fan of LaCroix.
yeah, that's sparkling.
Have you guys tried a Brita filter?
A what?
A Brita filter.
Ooh,
Cleans the water. You swap out the filter every couple months, if you remember to.
respectfully, I think that would destroy a Brita filter.
Probably.
So he leads you around. Let me move you guys into the camp.
So, Gomac,
Yeah.
you people who live here in the scrapyard.
Sure.
Like, are you guys like all goblins, or is there like a whole bunch of different y'all?
Well, you'll probably hear more from Lord Class about this. Supposing you were sent here, but oh well. It's been us for a long time, but now there's the Gnolls. And then we had the block shit, and they kind of suck. It's like we can't go to half the scrapyard because of them.
Because of the Gnolls.
The Gnolls.
The Gnolls.
Yes.
Yeah, I hear you.
Thank you for pronouncing that right.
I do my best.
He leads you around. Let me read something for you guys.
The Gnolls.
Flavor text?
Yeah, the flavor text here. A ring of old crates surrounds a makeshift campfire in this discreet corner of the junkyard. A complicated contraption of gears and rods over the campfire forms a spit that can be rotated using 2 foot pedals attached to a gear. The smell of smoked meat manages to cut through the ambient stench of trash emanating from the scrapyard's walls. Around the campfire are various patchwork tents and a large pavilion to the south. Piles of scrap surround the camp, conveniently stacked to make climbing to the top easier. A path on the northern edge of the camp leads east into the scrapyard, which is the direction you're coming from. You're coming through that little gap. And as you approach, you see Gomac like runs away from you guys. He runs into one of the tents, and like you hear just. Do any of you speak Goblin?
Actually,
Oh no! Don't actually me.
I'm not very smart, so I don't think I do.
trying to see where it says that.
No, I speak Amuran and Common.
I do speak Goblin.
You do speak
Nice.
Goblin?
Yeah.
All right, so he runs into one of the tents, and you hear him yelling in Goblin.
Yo! Wake the fuck up! Got Longshanks here! Yeah, I know! At this hour! Can you fucking believe it? You get the fuck up! I told him about you!
And then he leaves the tent, and you see like the tent. You see this guy like poke out, and it's just like this older, like goblin poke his head out
Hello!
briefly, and he closes the tent. And then a few minutes later, he comes out, and he has on this like ridiculous big jacket. And decorated, like almost bedazzled, is these huge chunks of colored glass all over it.
A stained glass jacket.
And he has like what looks like kind of like a conductor's hat, also got kind of bedazzled. On his face is this like fur mat that's like obviously looped around his ears and stuck to it, and it's all oily and greasy. I got
Fake beard.
I got some art
That's
of this if you guys want to see it.
disgusting.
Absolutely.
Give it to me now.
Feed me, sir.
Feed us the artwork.
I hunger.
This is what he looks like.
Oh wow, that is the one armor that actually lowers your AC and deals damage when you get hit.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
Oh,
So I actually really appreciate the way that he looks. He looks less like a disgusting Pathfinder goblin.
He looks like a pretty disgusting goblin. I don't know.
He looks like a gremlin, like from
Yeah.
the movie.
He really does look gremlin-esque.
And I like that a lot more than I like the big bloated football heads.
oh my god. His armor, yes, looks like it would hurt him, but it looks like it would be like a Minecraft Thorn style armor where it might hurt other people that hit you.
You are so in Minecraft mode, Jacob.
Oh, I thought that club was I thought he had an arm that was cybernetic. Not
I
cybernetic.
thought so too at first.
prosthetic?
I thought he had a prosthetic, but no. He is ugly, but in a delightful way.
He's
got
ugly in a
little
way.
flops at the ends of his ears.
It looks like his beard is taped on.
It is very much taped on. It's not a real beard.
Yeah.
I love it.
And so as he comes out, you can see like a couple other people have woken up and are starting to like poke their heads out of the tents. He has Gomac like bring over this little soapbox looking thing, and he wobbles up and stands on top of it like very chest puffy out, ready. And he says, he holds out his like pipe that has those gears and like mechanical bits coming off of it. Doesn't look like the pipe actually works. It looks more like a scepter. And he says,
King Bee?
I got some more flavor text for you guys here. It says, "Trusted Longshanks," intones Lord Glass, the bedazzled leader of the scavengers, in stilted common. "We welcome you to Scrap City and accept your offer of help." He bows deeply. but weighed down by the countless shards of colored glass lining his clothes, nearly loses his balance and falls off his stack of milk crates. But he gathers himself and clears his throat. As promised, if you drive the gnolls away, we promise you our best junk. Do we have deal?
Does his jacket tinkle, like clink tinkle
It
when
pisses.
he moves?
It absolutely.
No, not peas.
It absolutely clinks and tinkles.
Well,
That was the word I needed. The onomatopoeia.
he'll look at his friends. I am glad you welcomed us as per our pre-arrangement.
Right.
Who exactly did we come from to meet you?
Didn't Poggy send you? We sent our envoy into the city days ago to find mercenaries, he points at all of you, to take out the gnolls, points off into the distance.
We have not received any such summons, but if his help you need, my children, then allow us to deliver you.
I kind of need to rest.
After we have rested.
Like he's still holding a gash in his side.
Well, before we agree to anything, when you say get rid of, do you mean like just kick him out, or do you mean like, and he makes the cut throat across his neck? Do you mean kill him or get rid of him?
We already got one job to finish.
He says, make gnolls go away. Gnolls, big trouble causer for our goblin tribe. Come here and mess up our scrap. We lose half the yard. The big shitters.
Shitters.
Yes.
I see.
Technical goblin word. Sorry, common, hard to speak.
Oh, understandable. Common is hard to speak.
Do you speak to him in goblin?
I can.
Okay.
He'll
You could just translate for us.
Yeah, he'll just say, I mean, if it helps you better, I can speak in. He'll say in Goblin, if it helps you better, I can speak in Goblin. It's my two friends don't know it.
Oh, thank goodness you speak our language.
I was hoping that's what you would do.
Oh, thank goodness you speak our language, sir.
So you really we don't have to kill them. We just gotta get rid of them.
And nothing changes to the rest of you guys, obviously.
We just hear.
The gnolls have caused such trouble for us. They have come and taken away half the scrapyard.
Chester knows Goblin because he's interacted with goblins that have come past his family's farm.
Right.
Every once in a while, they would help out. Gnolls, in respect to Lord Glass, gnolls, are they in this area? Are they a bit more violent than the goblins, or are they about as attitude-wise as the goblins?
You're wondering, is this a question to me, the DM?
Yeah. Or I could roll for it to see how in some areas goblins would be more violent than in others. Are the gnolls in this area more violent than in others?
What lores do you have?
I have academia and I have underworld.
Ooh,
That's it.
Underworld.
I also have society, the knowledge skill, if that would help with that one.
No, not really. Honestly, I'm looking for or do you have occultism at all?
I do.
I do.
I'll take an occultism roll from you.
All right.
For this one's particularly.
Can I roll?
And this may be on the borders of what it applies to, but I'm going to go with it.
I don't see why not, because I'm sharing everything I find out.
You're translating.
That's a 13 on the
Natural 20!
die for unnatural 20.
23.
I'll say, Psyche here, that you, with your occultism, occultism is the skill you use for aberrations. And you know that there have been a couple different packs of gnolls that are mutated by the mana wastes that have been very violent and caused problems for different settlements.
Interesting.
And so, Lord Glass, give me 1 second to confer with my allies.
Take all the time you need.
Oh, thank you. Hey guys,
Yes, my child.
typically in this, you would know it as well because we both figured it out. I don't really have much of a problem with getting rid of a violent group. What about you guys? I know we already have one job, but some allies, they already hate the shield marshals. If we do them a favor, they might also help out with whatever the tavern keeper's
I
name
ain't
was.
got nothing wrong with
Dunsmith.
Dunsmith.
repaying good they did for us.
Oh, that's fair. We do kind of owe them one.
Just might want to finish the job we're on.
I mean, we're already here.
I believe that they are entitled to their pound of flesh given what the Gnolls have done to them.
Yeah, we'll bring them the bodies. Give them a pound.
We have to weigh it out specifically, though.
Specifically, I'm sure I got skill somewhere. He'll speak in Goblin to the guy.
Of course.
We can't promise anything as we just got here, but we're willing to look at it and maybe even help you out.
Good. If you can get rid of these Gnolls, then we will give you the best junk that we have. We have quite the junk collection, as you may imagine.
Amazing. I don't see why we wouldn't. We'll try and help you out.
Could we see the goods?
I'd be interested.
I'm translating happens automatically.
Okay.
I'm not going to repeat everything they say.
Also, I will give one of the arms to our little friend.
He pulls out, he has this big, wrapped hunk of metal, and he unwraps it, and it looks like iron. He says, "This is iron that is cold. Quite a lot of it you could use for crafting."
Cold iron.
Ooh. Alonzo is
quality
interested.
That is
Quality
That
junk.
is quality junk.
That's good.
Do you have any other questions for him?
Whereabouts would the goblins, the gnolls be?
North, over the wall, we put up sharp metal to keep them out. Blocked their way with the old ship, the big metal box. Metal box. We shut them out.
I don't know. That looks more like a tube.
We do not speak of metal tube here. We shut them out, but they are still there. Go, make them gone. The easiest way for Longshanks to get there is to go east, around the big metal box in the old ship.
What are their numbers like?
Unsure. Now he just sounds like an android.
Unsure.
We do
Does
not
anyone know where I can get a blowjob?
No, we can't quote other podcasts. Also, we lost one of our own, Monzi. She went to go and look for the Gnolls and work against them. She helped block their way, and she went out to get stuff from her workbench, but we haven't seen her in a few days. If you see Monzi, could you find her?
If we find her, we will find her.
Find her, bring her back. Sorry, my goblin brain is a little fried. It is after midnight.
Speaking of it being after midnight, my companions and I are well spent. We have been fighting against the greater evils in this city,
The shield marshals.
and Psykir is going to.
Darn them.
If Psykir takes off the hat, will it be deactivated or will it just be removed and then they can put back on the same disguise?
You can only use its effect once a day, so it might just be gone.
Okay, then I'm not going to.
And by the time we wake up, they'll
You
be able
all
to see
have
ourselves anyway.
very charming bandanas, I must say.
Thank you.
If you guys, if Longshanks need rest, we have delicious rat. And whenever Gomak hears Lord Glass say rat, Gomak's little eyes light up and he says,
Oh, we got rat. We got fried rat. We got steamed rat. We got rat with cockroach. We got rat, cockroach, and grits. We got rat, beans and rat. We got rat, spam rat, and rat.
I'll just take some roasted rat.
I have a question, child.
Yes.
Do you have ratatouille?
What?
You slice it up very finely.
What?
I mean, I could get you the rat behind, but that's not really a good cut of meat.
Rat patootie, thank you.
I'll take the rat and grits.
That was a rat and grits. I believe it was rat, grits and rat.
Yeah.
I'll take it.
What about the cockroach? Do you want the cockroach?
No.
No cockroach for you? They are
Nah.
high in protein and low in fat, my child.
No.
Your friend is right.
We'll take some of your hospitality. We need to rest before we go fight any gnolls.
Good.
Gnolls.
we also have quality damp straw mats for you to sleep on.
We thank you for your hospitality.
Thank you kindly, child.
Are you guys planning to rest here then for the night?
Yes.
I got 3 hit points. We rest.
We'll heal you up before we rest.
Yeah, I'll do treat wounds.
Okay, yeah, you should probably do that.
Are
So,
any of your number wounded?
Us? No.
are you talking to Gomac or Lord Glass?
Lord Glass or Gomac or whatever.
If you talk to him directly, he says, no, none of us are wounded. We blocked the way. It worked pretty well, if I do say so myself.
I don't know.
Strokes his matted,
Fake
greasy
beard.
fur fake beard.
Is it rat fur?
No, it looks like, honestly looks like a beard or hair prop that he's just kind of formed into a beard.
That's
Make
glorious.
himself look more ancient and therefore more respected.
It
More
makes me
wise.
look respectable.
Do you find it wiseable?
I find it respectable.
So, when is Barkeep Dunsmith? No.
Phoebe
Phoebe.
Dunsmith.
Oh, it is Dunsmith.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I said Dunsmith, and my first thought was Dunsmith, Dunsmith, and Dunsmith. That's Pondsmith. When is Dunsmith expecting us back?
Probably sometime
Today?
in the morning-ish. Yeah, because you hit the place at midnight. So.
Yeah.
Yes.
If we're a little late, we'll be fine.
Well, actually, if I remember right, she said you had until tomorrow afternoon before the handlers came
That's
back.
right.
So you might you might have as much time as you want this day, really.
I mean, what's
Fair
to
enough.
assume that we actually did it unless she happens to hear
Yeah, it's not
through
like
her
she's...
channels that it's been hit already?
I mean,
I imagine
that sounds like it's going to be the talk of the town.
we might have to go through the knolls to get out anyway.
Yeah.
True that.
Because I didn't see any other exit to this place other than the one
The
path
one that we
could go.
sort of collapsed.
Heh.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, we'll
That
rest.
Gomac collapsed, not
All right,
us.
so-
We failed.
Time.
First hour,
to
or
rest.
excuse me, first 10 minutes, you want to try doing a treat wounds?
Yes.
Who's doing this on who?
On me, please.
I'll do one on myself.
Okay.
I have successfully healed you, my child.
How
For
much?
2d8.
4. It's better than nothing.
I did a medicine check on myself for a 14 plus 4 for over 15. So that's
Oh, you rolled a 14 too?
yeah. For a 5, which is exactly what I needed.
I need to see
Also,
if I
remember,
can heal myself. Too.
whenever you do a long rest, quote, quote, that's a D&D-ism, but whenever you do the equivalent of resting 8 hours for your sleep, you're going to get your hit points, a number of hit points equal to your constitution multiplied by your level. So what is each of you's con?
+3.
All right, so at this level, that's not a lot, but it'll be a little bit.
If I get 3 more points, I will be at exactly half hit points.
Oof.
I took a beating during that.
Well, the good
combat.
news is, do you have a focus spell that can heal people?
Yes.
Every 10 minutes you can cast that. So, like, we could say within the hour, we all have full hit points.
And I healed and I rolled really well, so I am full because I will take non-magical healing to the full capacity.
Yeah, you
All
have
right.
an effect on you.
Yeah,
right
if
now.
you guys just want to also like take the time to sleep in, get a good breakfast and everything, you guys can just mark yourself up to full between your treat wounds and your healing focus ability. We don't need to do all the bookkeeping for it.
That
Awesome.
treat wounds is more limited time-wise than using the focus spells, because you can get a focus point back every 10 minutes.
I know, but,
every
like,
10 minutes, focus point heal, focus point heal.
The only person I think who needs treat wounds right now is Psycheer because of magical healing limitations.
Full right
Yeah,
now.
so you're good anyway. So, all right, I'll
So-
fast forward us to the
Can I rest and prepare? We're not going to be interrupted.
No, you're resting in their camp. You're good.
All right.
So yeah, next morning comes around. You guys are basically up to full between your different abilities. Like I may bump a few hours, like call it 10 a.m., or something like that,
Alright.
to give you the extra time.
Yeah.
But I think I forget. Do you automatically refocus whenever you take a rest?
Yes. I am no longer bleeding positive energy.
Okay, so Hero Lab did it for you.
Yes.
Beautiful. If Hero Lab says it, then it is absolutely true for sure.
Hero Lab is
It's
law.
the law.
You never doubt Hero Lab. Never.
As someone who's not doubted Hero Lab and has mistrusted it or misplaced my trust in it many times.
To be fair, that was with Wani, and that's a lot harder to deal with.
Oh, Wani. All right, so
Yeah.
it is now. I wanted to say morning, quarter day, like Forbidden Land. But it's the morning. You wake up, you have rat, grits, and rat.
I just have roasted rat.
Oh, I'm sorry. Deep fried rat. They have so many rats around here. What do you guys want to do? It seems like you've agreed to take on the Gnoll problem.
I would like to have downtime roleplay.
Actually, yeah, because there's some questions I wanted to ask as well.
Sure. Gomax there. Lord Glass is still in his get-up this morning.
Please, not them.
Oh, okay.
Excuse me, my friend. And I am looking at Chester.
Hi there. Morning.
Good morning. I do have to say, given your heritage, I'm shocked that you consume cooked foods
Oh,
in terms of meat. Is that
that's a common misconception. You see, some people, when they become a vampire, they do get that urge to drink blood, but like not all of us are like that.
Okay.
I just got like sharper teeth and normally shows us incisors. They's just a bit sharp. They're not really used for batting. Some vampires, from what I understand, my mama taught me a good bit about them. Some of them, because she was worried when I was born, she didn't want like another bloodsucker, and because make things difficult sometimes. She do research, but like some vampires are like that, but I didn't wind up like that. At least not yet. Apparently things can change as you get older, but I haven't.
Alonzo makes a mental note to sleep further away.
Well, listen, I wouldn't bite nobody that I know and care for.
But you would
I
bite.
understand that is a natural urge. The flesh is weak. Should that arise, though, and not for the fact that I would be ungiving, I suggest you stay away from me, if only because I am leaking positive energy.
Yeah, I think it'd hurt if I took your
Yes.
blood. That'd be like drinking a potion. That's a weird thought. I wonder if you could take your blood, heal other. No, we won't. Never mind. No, don't worry about that.
Alonzo
drinking battery
just
acid.
looks like I'm uncomfortable.
His first thought went to alchemical ingredients. No,
It is slightly corrosive.
that's fair. That wouldn't be great. Drink that. It hurt.
You know, in my head, when I envision you guys having this conversation, like if I'm trying to visualize it, I visualize like these three characters sitting around the goblin little campfire with the rat, right?
Uh-huh.
But like each one of them's a different art style. Like you're a 2D animated vampire with like overalls and everything. Alonzo is just the way Alonzo looks, but like a character straight out of Red Dead Redemption 2. Like fully rendered cowboy sitting there with like a pot of beans. And then Psyche here is just ripped right out of a Warhammer 40k mini, like, or just an actual Warhammer 40k mini.
Just wobbling there in place.
It's like the Toy Story little
The
army
little army
soldiers.
guys. Oh my god.
And then
I, as the artist, do not agree with this.
No, it's purely my little dumb GM headcanon. That is not true.
Chester will be like, I've been curious. I know that Sakir the Observer, you ain't a big fan of muggling. And I don't like muggling either. But Alonzo, what's your beef with Loveless?
He spits to the side.
That's nasty.
Well, I mean, one,
Junkyard.
no.
you mentioned Loveless.
He stole your manners.
There was a bone in his rat, and grits.
Grits and rat.
And grits.
And rat. You saw me back there with my lock-picking skills.
Yeah, quite
They
handy.
were impressive.
Well, you see, where I'm from in the Ferris Quarter, it's easy to get framed.
I would assume it would be easier to be magnetized, my friend.
Oh my god.
I might have to vomit.
I need to start keeping a pun damage die.
You're going to become Jacob's brother.
I know.
And,
Good evil.
and you see, there was a break-in not far from where I reside. It was like the crime was made just to frame a locksmith, and I'm the only one in my area. So when the summons came down, I hit the road.
Oh, saying you figure Loveless did this to you?
Who else?
Loveless is.
You heard her.
I ain't got no experience much with Loveless, but I do know she's in Muglin's pockets.
Exactly.
Would it be safe to assume that she is also skilled with locks?
Ain't sure. Just know someone did it for her.
If she looked like an awful angry person, she's not one to mess with. I get the feeling we'll be messing with her a lot, especially if he's going after Muglin. Hey, Lord Glass.
Did you say this in Goblin or Common?
Common.
Lord Glass!
Yes.
You know, do the names Muglin or Loveless mean anything to you?
Lord Glass stands up, puts a hand on his chest, looks off
Stabs
into the
himself.
sunset, and pulls like his little scepter pipe up to his mouth, has nothing in it, and brings it away, turns back to you. I've never heard those names in my life.
All right, fair enough. He'll turn back to his friends. This is going to be something else. We got to be careful.
We are going to kill some gnolls.
Please do.
Have we gotta kill him to get him out?
I don't suppose so.
I imagine if there's the more violent kind, we might have to defend ourselves, though. It's going to be weird. I tell you what, I never actually killed nothing like a gnoll before. On the farm, we sometimes shoot our guns, chase things off, but nothing's died. What about you guys? You got blood on your hands? Not right now. I mean in the past.
Visual joke. Drow
figuratively
just
speaking.
held up their hands and like flexed.
I suppose that wherever my hands are, they may be bloody.
Ah?
I ain't got
These-
no blood on my hands.
Beautiful creations have not seen the end of a life.
Well, looks like we're going to have fun experiencing blood for our first time.
A bonding moment.
A
I have
bonding
done-
moment.
A bit of dismemberment.
Was it already
Sounds
dead?
about right.
It was replacing some parts.
Oh, that's just surgery.
The flesh is weak.
The flesh. Correct, my friend. The flesh is so weak.
Chester will sit there all of a sudden.
It's like I've gotten through to him.
Did you replace your own arms? Or did somebody do that for you?
And more. Come here, my friend. And they grab you by the back of the head and they like push your ear up against their chest and you can hear.
You got a bomb in your heart.
No. No, I assure you.
That's whack.
How much you use organic and how much is machine?
If that ain't insensitive to ask.
Yeah.
It depends on the day. Parts do fall off, unfortunately.
Alonzo shudders a little bit.
Well, I've got a good hand at crafting if you ever need help with that.
I appreciate that.
I imagine we're going to be working with each other for a good little bit.
As you saw, the more that I dedicate myself to healing the weakness of the flesh, the more that I outpour myself for others, the less I am held together.
I did notice. I'll do what I can to help you out with that. We got to keep each other together.
And as you saw, I ain't too good unless I can sneak up on someone.
Yeah.
And you did phenomenally,
That's
regardless.
awesome. You took out that robot like a ninja. I don't know what ninja is, but it sounds right.
Tell me about
I
that.
myself am more of a fan of pirates.
You opened your mouth, and then they were in pain. What happened there?
Oh, yeah, you don't see too much magic around these parts.
Observe. No, I'm not about to do it. I am not. I look over at Lord Glass and just scream his ass to bits.
Like, because isn't it mechanically we can't hear the scream?
Yes.
Oh.
So to us, you just look like like a cat hissing, but no sound coming out.
When you open your mouth, because like whenever you see an organic person do some kind of screaming thing, they're like, ah, like you see them focus and like they have to stress. When you scream, do you do that? Or do you just go,
Just drop jaw.
and it screams like a robot?
Less so with the lungs and whatnot and the shoulders, but the ears do go back.
Ears back, mouth open. Well, you guys ready to get this done?
I am so excited to bring in more funds to elevate.
And hey, maybe you show these goblins you mean a good thing or two. They might join your flock too.
I welcome everyone from every walk of life, except perhaps Mugland.
That's understandable.
I would forgive him, though,
For real.
were he to ask.
Well,
And I would tear him apart just as I have torn myself.
that's awful. ... Merciful of you.
What is the
imagining-
meme? Press X to doubt.
I'm imagining that this tear them apart has a bit more malice.
I would show him at the edge of a scalpel just how weak the flesh is.
I could get behind that for him.
I thoroughly suggest that you keep a moderate distance whenever that happens.
Chester will stand up and brush his pants off. Well,
His pants or his overalls?
his overalls.
Thank you.
He's probably got pants,
pants
all
part
under the
of
overalls.
the overalls.
Overalls cover your clothes, unless you're a hillbilly.
Yeah.
And in that case, it is the clothes.
You should note that Alonzo mended his little vest jacket thing, so it's not so bad off anymore.
Also, just because it's important to note, Chester did clean his gun last night.
Oh, very important.
No misfire
And I waxed
chances.
my mustache.
No misfire chance.
You a Dapper Dan man?
Hey, I've already said Alonzo keeps himself well kept.
Can you imagine a swashbuckler like archetype where it's like, hey, now if you wash your face and wax your mustache, you'll have no misfire chances?
All right, you guys ready to head out? Mm-hmm. So, the only way we can go is back towards that oil slick, right?
Yeah, you're gonna head back out in that open area.
I think that's the only way we really can go, right?
That's the only way I can see.
All right, so whenever you come around to this open area again, you see this like pool of water with like the oil slick on top of it. You also see this like big rusty crane wedged in between some of the scrap. It was hanging over like the entranceway, the head of it was.
That's a whole boat.
Across the way from the pond, you see that giant metal box. Which way are you thinking about heading?
Well, I mean, we'd have to get to the metal box, we'd have to step in the oil, right?
Yeah.
How deep is it?
Why not just read you some flavor text?
Oh, yay!
A reddish-brown circular pool of water stands in the center of a large open area with stacks of metal and wood to the north and south. To the east, a large steel box, already pitted with rust, blocks the way past the pond. At the bottom of the pond, are you going to wade out into the pond?
No.
Can we do like a knowledge to see if it's safe?
No?
But you can see at like the middle of it, there's kind of this big lump. There's a large pile of cloth that sits mostly motionless, with some unseen current causing bits of fabric to dance in the water.
Uh-huh.
That's the pond. There's also the crane, and then there's the big steel cube box. The box, is it blocking in this oil water? No, it just more like it looks like it's sitting on the edge of it.
Oh, so it's not like a dam. It's not damming it.
No, it's more like a pool of water that's kind of like about a foot deep, and then it's on like the other shore side of it.
It may not be damning it, but it sure as hell is condemning it.
Can we get to the crane?
Yeah. You want to go to the crane?
I want to go see if it's still operational.
Sure.
Yeah, let's do it.
Is this battle station fully
Chester.
operational? Yeah?
Would it be of any advantage to you to take a sample of the water?
Yeah, here, get me one. He'll toss you down a vial.
Thank you, child.
No, thank you.
I do want to know, and you can tell me what I need to roll, or I can tell you what I've got.
Uh-huh.
To know, could we just wade across? It's gross, but like, would it be unsafe?
I mean, it's definitely water as far as you can like visually observe, and you don't see it being particularly deep.
Just don't drink it, is what I'm hearing.
It looks like, like water when it rains in a parking lot and it gets that like
yeah, and
oil
there's the
slick.
oil.
It's like that, but it's up to about a foot deep in some places.
Okay.
It wouldn't even mechanically slow you down. But Chester, you're going to the crane, or it's like
I'll come.
All right.
I would like to get a sample of that water.
Sure.
And while I'm there, I want to chuck like a little rock or something into the center.
Okay.
Yeah, when I was up there, I imagined I was up there observing the water, just checking on it.
I'm over here making my way to the crane.
Making my way.
Don't steal other podcast jokes. You make your way to the crane, so you get a sample of it. Real quick, why don't Alonzo and Syke here give me some perception checks?
Sure.
I would love to.
All right.
Huh. That is a natural one.
Oh
Okay.
boy. I got a total of 19 with a natty 13.
Yeah,
I got a total of 5.
You throw the rock in, you get your vial, you don't see anything. Chester, a large winch-driven crane towers over piles of discarded machinery. The crane's base is totally entrenched in
They
debris.
prefer waitresses.
Totally entrenched in debris, and rust pits its arm. In the crane's cockpit, the control panel faceplate has been removed, exposing the gears and mechanisms behind the foot pedals and long rusty levers. A wall of debris looms to the south, extending west, and the open stone to the north is flooded with oily water. So it's basically just describing this big open area where the slick is. Yeah, so just from there, you can already see, like, let's imagine the control panel's turned in such a way that without climbing in, you can see the panels ripped off. It doesn't necessarily look like it's, like, completely busted and inoperable. Mm-hmm. In fact, like, some of the wear on it, I would say you, with your kind of investigative abilities, you would probably pick up that it's been used somewhat recently. But there's no, like, nice controls. Like, the panel's ripped off, the levers and, like, raw gears are exposed and everything. And what I will say is that whenever you approach it, you see like a group of like cockroaches start to stir and go in and out of the trash around it.
The machine spirits.
How big are these cockroaches?
They're like nice big fat
size of a
cockroaches.
Okay.
They're not like tiny or something that would be enormous. They are... But there's just like a lot of them that kind of go in and out of the trash near the crane.
Oh, did I notice anything when I did my 19 on perception when I came up to the water?
No, nothing in particular. That was when Psyche threw the rock in.
Chester wants to climb into the cockpit.
Okay, so you start making your way up into the trash. You can get there just barely, like it's just at the edge of the debris, so you don't have to like climb on over it and everything. As soon as you start stepping on the steps, these cockroaches start like coming out. They're grouping together and they like start going over your feet. You can see them biting on your boots a little bit. What do?
I'm gonna back off.
You back off?
Yeah.
How far are you gonna back off?
Or rather, if I were to climb onto the crane, would it be out of the cockroaches? Or
the crane is situated on top of this pile of trash, and they're kind of coming out from the trash. More and more of them are like going over like your feet and everything. There's like this kind of building horde. What do?
I'm gonna back off.
You're gonna run back? How fast are you moving?
I mean, fast? You know, my speed. I move 25 feet per movement.
So you're gonna move your full speed like back? Okay. As you move back, you like step on a few cockroaches and fling some others off.
And he'll yelp.
So we hear.
And you guys turn and see, and out of the pile of trash, you see this swarm of cockroaches just pour out like a dam burst, climbing over each other, writhing and wriggling as they speed towards you with their little foaming cockroach mouths.
Oh, they got rabies!
And that's what we're going to come back to next time.
Giving me, cat, the heebie-jeebies.
That is full on the heebie and the jeebie.
What I would give to have a bomb right now.
Bug bomb!
A bug bomb.
Raid.
Any bomb used
Raid.
on a bug.
Shadow Legends.
Shadow Legends. Thank you so much for listening to this episode of the Third Gallon Podcast. If you enjoyed it, please consider subscribing, rating, and reviewing us. If you want to see more from us, check out our website, thirdgallon.com, or follow us on Twitter. We are at Third Gallon, that's THIRD Gallon. You can also tweet at us using the hashtag Third Gallon, and we are on Instagram, TikTok, and Facebook with the same handle, at Third Gallon. We also publish a video version of the podcast on YouTube, which you can find on our channel, The Third Gallon. Our theme for this season is Delta Rust, composed by Andy Ellison. Our ambience for this episode was composed by Michael Ghelfi, and you can find more of his work on his YouTube channel, Michael Ghelfi Studios. And you can support his awesome work at patreon.com/Michael Ghelfi. Thanks again for listening, and we'll see you next time.